All right. Good morning. It's still morning. It is almost 11 o'clock in the morning. And today, man, it's a beautiful day. I have been working on these traps nonstop, trying to get all this gear ready. You know, the summertime is when we take all the vacations. I really can't take off during the crab season because I'm so busy every week with the traps. And I said, you know what, I'm gonna go out today, record a video, see if I could catch some dinner. I'm gonna try to do some deep dropping, see if we could catch some blue line tilefish. They're delicious, and they're really only open for an extremely short period of time during the year. It's a little over 2 months. So we're gonna try to go out and catch some. The limit per person is 2. So if I can find them, it's gonna be pretty quick. I've got some other spots in there I'll try to see. But with 2 of those fish we could eat. Just want to get out on the boat and enjoy the day. It's a beautiful, flat, calm day. We're going to go ahead and get out of the channel and head up to the spot. And we is me and you. Remember that. I'm all by myself today. But let's see if we can't catch some dinner, bring you along, show you how we do some deep dropping. And I'll explain that when we get out there in case you guys want to try this in your area. Let's go. All right, guys, so we are out here. I got everything set up here now. I've got the chicken rig, and I'll explain that here in a second. But I've got the chicken rig hooked up on the LP, and then I've got the second electric reel, which is our Daiwa. It's a smaller reel. I don't really like it for deep dropping here. The key when you have an electric reel is that reel, you need to be able to pull up the lead and the fish, right? And here where I'm fishing, we're so close to the Gulf Stream. Now while I was setting up, I'm looking at the speed that I'm drifting, and I'm drifting almost at 4 miles an hour. So I'm gonna start with a 5-pound lead. I might have to go all the way up to an 8-pound lead. You know, we'll try 6, 7, 8 pounds, but I need to be able to hit the bottom and kind of stay vertical, not keep coming off the bottom at an angle, right? So you gotta go up in lead. And I'm gonna have to slow the speed of the boat by bumping the motors into the current, because I want to be able to drift over the spot that I have. And I saw it's a good sign. I drove over it. I saw the marks there. Okay, good. You know, we know that there's life there. I don't want to fly by it. I want to be able to slow down and be able to get them to bite and get hooked, and hopefully get more than one fish. Now, if you're unfamiliar with what a chicken rig is essentially, it's a vertical piece, and I'll show you now. And it's clipped on to your rod, right? We put a snap swivel on the end of it. We clip it on. It's got 4, 5, some of them come with 6 hooks. This one that I'm using today has 4 hooks, and they're kind of spaced out, and you put bait, or you put cut bait. I'm starting off with squid, and then if I have to, I'll go to some cut bait. But you put it on there, and all the way at the end of it, you've got the lead. And then the lead, is the last thing vertically, and you drop it all the way down, and that's, coming through your marks on where the fish are. And the idea is that you try to get either more than one fish when you're bringing it up, or if the fish takes your bait, that you've got, 3, 4 other baits, 5 baits, depending on how many hooks you have, that those fish will then circle back and keep eating. And you don't gotta waste the time to bring the whole thing up to put more bait. So we're gonna move up to the spot. Before I move up there, let me go ahead and take off this back camera and show you here what I'm talking about. So we've got our LP, which is what we use for, sword fishing, bottom fishing. 100% you cannot go wrong. This thing, it's gonna bring up whatever you hook up to it. And we've got a snap swivel just tied to the end of it, and then we've got our chicken rig clipped on here. And I like putting this little, I use this for my swordfish rigging just to protect from chafing. You get a big fish and it's going to be tugging on this, and you don't want this mono to snap right here and you lose everything. And then you can see it's coming all the way down, and you've got your hooks on here. And I just like to, when I'm fishing, I like to just wrap it around the fishing rod there, kind of keep them off the floor. But essentially this is all you're doing. And at the end, you've got your lead right here that is clipped on. Now normally on this, I would like to put a light, but where I'm fishing right now, we're in 240 feet. Here, there is sunlight down there, and I'm not gonna put a light on it here, but once we move to the other spot where the tilefish are, now we're gonna get into anywhere between 400 to 800 feet of water, and we have no sunlight down there, or very, very minimal sunlight, so I like to put a light on it. But here, we still got sunlight at this depth, or very little bit of sunlight. So we're gonna try it now. Sun's high in the sky. It's exactly 12:02 p.m. So let's drive up to the spot. And like I said, what I like to do, if you're gonna get into this and you're gonna go out and try it in your area, when you go out, here on the east coast of Florida, we're so close to the Gulf Stream that this current is ripping. Now, when I go down to Key West, the Gulf Stream is much further out in between Key West and Cuba, so you're not getting the edge of it. And when we're deep dropping out there, we've got some beautiful tilefish spots in Key West. And man, every time we go down there, we fish them. And I don't know if anybody else fishes there, because we are pulling up some slob blue line tilefish. But there, what's happening is I'm moving with the speed of the wind in whatever direction the wind is pushing me. So here we're flying with the current. I like better to be going very slow, because it lets me really work that bottom. If you see something or there's some structure, I don't like to fly past it. So that's where you got to start using your motors to slow it down. But essentially what you want to do is drop this thing down, and you want to drift over your spot, right? So what I like to do when I get out here is, while I'm setting everything up, I put the boat in neutral, and I look at the path on the GPS that I'm drifting. This is going to change throughout the day. Depending on the current, the wind picks up, slows down, you're going to drift at a different angle. But as you get going and you're drifting, you're going to see the marks on your GPS, the trail that the boat is leaving. Then once I kind of know the angle that I'm drifting, I know where I need to start beyond that point to drift over it at the same angle. Then as you keep doing your drifts, and conditions are changing, and you're going to drift at a different angle, then obviously you have the line, and you could adjust and start beyond where you want to go over at a different angle, so you could keep going over the same spot every time. So here, I'm very happy to see we've got a lot of marks on the bottom. Even well past it, I kept looking at the sonar screen and really have some good marks. So now the only thing we need is the fish to cooperate. Just because they're here doesn't mean that they're hungry. So now I will tell you, I've had a lot of questions. A lot of folks have been watching our Garmin series, and people are asking me, transducer or whatever. Guys, I got a video where you utilize the shift feature, and you really hone in your transducer to only focus on the area that you want to look at. So right now I'm looking at 100 feet off the bottom. I might narrow that down 80, 50 feet, and you get really clear images on your screen, because the transducer is only focused on that one area. If you're trying to get a fish mark from 0 to 300 feet, you might not even see it. But when you're only focused on that area, then you can see the marks. And it's something, the video that I put out there, we're sword fishing in 1,500 feet of water, and I can mark the squid on the bottom. So let's go ahead and get set up here. Start our first drift. Hopefully we get lucky. All right, let's go ahead and deploy the guys. Another thing is, when you're dropping this, be very careful with these circle hooks. These things will clip you in the hand, and you want to avoid an accident. So right now I went beyond this thing, the mark that I want to go over, 600 feet. And obviously you'll be able to tell if by the time you get set up, it's you know, too slow, you reach your mark well before you wanted to, then you just go a little bit further. I like to mark beyond the point in the same angle, and that way I leave the little, you know, the little flag there, the starting point, and it really helps you on the second drift if you say I need to go a little bit more inshore of it or offshore of it, and you just change your mark to really angle differently. Then once you hit the bottom, what you want is that lead to be bouncing on the bottom. And I'm gonna turn around. I'm gonna go into this thing so I could really use the motors here to slow it down, because we were just drifting way too fast. So now I'm facing into the current, and I'm gonna use the motors to really slow my speed down so that I could slowly go over the spot that I want to go over. And what you'll see on the rod tip is you're going to see that lead just bouncing and boom, hitting the bottom. And you want to do that. These fish that we're targeting live in the bottom. They're right off the bottom. You want to be close to it. Oh, getting some bites there. Oof. This is very good, but nothing is hooked yet. And guys, as you're drifting, you're going to start seeing, man, we're just getting pecked away here. You are going to mark all around the spots. Every time you get a bite, I like to mark it. The fish are not just going to be isolated to one little spot, you know? So I like to mark as I'm going around, and you're going to keep drifting. You just keep getting bites, just mark it. Go ahead and check this bait. Look at that. All of them are gone. All right, well, that's a good sign. That is a good sign. Let's get this thing rebaited and drop back down. Man, we got marks all up. This is very good, guys. I'm gonna move over a little bit. Guys, and I will tell you, as you're moving, keep looking at your sonar screen. You might find something else that's pretty good too, and you could create a waypoint from that. I've got a video that I'm going to create and show you how to make a waypoint from your sonar. But always keep looking at your sonar when you're driving. Like right now, I moved over a little bit, and there's some really good marks on the bottom here, and I'm going to go beyond this so that I could try to go over this. The size of the hook is really important too. You want to, if you're targeting smaller fish, you don't want a really big hook. They're not going to get hooked, and then vice versa. So they sell the chicken rigs, or you can make them yourself with different size hooks. Right now I'm using smaller circle hooks because I know that this spot here has smaller snappers, yelloweye snappers. This is a harder bottom. Man, this is looking good, just even beyond it. Oh, deli. So that's why I want to use a little bit smaller hooks to start. And these fish that are pecking off this bait are very little because they didn't get hooked, or they're very smart. But then what I'll do is I could even switch to cut bait. Squid is very easy to rip off the hook. Go to some cut bait, small pieces, and really make them have to work for it and take a bite out of the bait. But this is the name of the game. You just drift over the spots, and if you haven't gotten any bites and you feel comfortable that you still have some bait, don't be afraid to just keep going beyond the spot that you wanted to hit, and you might come across something else, or fish that are off in the distance. They smell it, they could sense your bait, and they come over to you to go ahead and bite that bait. All right, guys, we have switched. You and I have switched, and I moved up and I came over to our blue line tilefish spot. Got a lot of action in the previous spot. They were tearing up these squids, and then I switched to cut bait. They wouldn't touch it. So I'm gonna come back with some stealthier hooks. I want to get some small little circle hooks. Hopefully next week I can come back and do that. But now I moved on over here. We'll try this spot here. Like I said, this is my original plan, was to get 2 of these bad boys. The limit's only 2. They are absolutely delicious, and hopefully they're hungry. Hopefully they want to cooperate, and I could get 2 rather quickly here. Here I am, very, very far from the marina. And now, guys, we're in a little bit deeper water here. We are now in a little over 400 feet. Really big mud bottom there. I don't know if the camera captured there. When you drop the lead, it'll stick. It's real sticky, hard, like mushy mud. And then that you saw there was the, hopefully the camera caught it, was the lead coming off of the bottom and unsticking itself from the actual mud. And we got beautiful marks here on the sonar. We just need the fish to cooperate and bite the hook. And sometimes it's not as easy as you may think. And these other guys in the other spot, man, these guys could read and write. They were ripping that squid off of the hook. Let's see what happens here. Got a big area here, really going, 400 all the way up to like 800 that I normally fish these guys. So we'll see. It takes a long time drifting to find where they're at. So hopefully we got pretty lucky in the beginning, because I came out midday. I just need to get out of the house. This trap repair has been, it's a very tedious task. I pressure clean all of them, repair the traps, paint all the buoys. I'm trying to hurry up and get done with all that before we go on our vacation. So all the gears, oof, look at this. Unbelievable marks coming up here. I really want to get done with everything before we go on vacation, and just not have to worry about, repairing all the gear and getting everything ready. The next time we move the traps, it's going to be to put bait in them and get them in the truck to drop them in the water. I don't know if I mentioned it at the first spot that I was at, but I'll do a little diagram so you guys could kind of understand. Here we go. So you guys could understand, get a visual of what the boat, here we go. Of what the boat looks like with the chicken rig when you're deep dropping down on the bottom. Today the plan was to get out of the house, enjoy this beautiful day, listen to some music out here on the boat. Oh, here we go. Here we go, guys. Oh no. Oh no. Man. I thought he was on there. Yeah, that was the plan today. Just come out here, enjoy being on the boat by myself. It's quiet, and just enjoy it. It's very peaceful to be out here. It's a weekday too, so there's nobody Hardly anybody out here. Man, guys, I think we might have got our bait smoked. All right, let's pick this thing back up and get some more bait cut. Mix it up with some cut bait and some squid. The squid is super easy to rip off. And if you watch a lot of the videos how these things feed, they come right up to it and just rip it off the hook. They're super smart. Oh, look at this. We got a little snowy grouper on here. Season is closed for these guys. I'll be able to show you here the sequelizer, and how we release these guys. So this is mandatory on every boat here fishing, is that you have this. And what this is gonna do is gonna drop him all the way down and repressurize him so that he could get repressurized and survive. You can see there he's trying to swim down. This is gonna go all the way down now. It's gonna let him loose. It's gonna go all the way down, and what will happen is, let me spin the boat around. It'll pressurize his body, right? And then when it releases, he'll be able to swim away. So this is a requirement when you're bottom fishing here in federal waters. Here in Florida, they have one of these. Because if you just take that fish and throw him in the water on the surface, you know, the air that he's got in his bladder is not gonna let him go down. And he'll just die on the surface. Okay, there we go. Man, guys. Unbelievable marks here. A lot of guys have this on just a regular spinner, but here where I'm fishing, the current is so strong, I'm using big leads, and I don't want to waste time hand cranking that big lead all the way up. So I just dropped it on an electric reel. And I could drop it down, release them, and bring this thing up pretty quickly. All right, so you got to see how the descending device works. If you're trying to get dinner and you're gonna use this a lot, that's not good, because that means you're giving back. But those guys are out of season right now. Season's closed for them. Golden tilefish are also closed. The blue lines are the only ones that are open. And we got about another 3 or 4 weeks left of the blue lines. All right, and there you go. You see this thing comes back up. And like I said, this is pressurized, so when you clip the fish on here, it goes down, and once it reaches the depth, it opens and lets him out. So we're gonna go ahead, rebait, change the batteries, and drop again. Let's go. All right, guys. Okay. We are not gonna be able to get dinner. This is not supposed to come up like this. So, what happened? We snagged the bottom. Where I'm at right here, there's a lot of wrecks, and there's a lot of debris that was thrown here to create like habitats for fish. Snagged the bottom twice. I had 2 rigs, two 5-pound lead, a 6-pound lead, and I lost both of them. So now I can't deep drop anymore. So I would tell you, we're not going to be able to get dinner, but at least we came out, we enjoyed, and let me get the back camera here so you guys can see. Take a look. I mean, you can't beat this weather. Beautiful, beautiful day. Beautiful day. So I got out of the house. I got to come out here with you, listen to some music. I really wanted to come out only for a couple hours. Been out here for 3 hours already, and I do have a lot of work the rest of the week. My goal is to get through all of the traps. I got to finish pressure cleaning. I have about 75 of them left. Pressure clean, take the buoys off, clean the buoys, paint the buoys, and then out of that 75, repair whatever needs to be repaired. So at least you guys got to see how it is for deep dropping if you want to try it in your area, and you saw the gist of it. We did catch one fish. We caught that snowy grouper, highly regulated. They're only open for a really short period of time. They were even less. I think I'll throw it up here when I'm doing the video edit, the regulations, but I think those are open less than 2 months this year. So they're great eating, great tasting fish, but you can't catch them in the off season. So we're gonna head home. I did have a fun day. I'm gonna ride back nice and slow, listen to the music, and enjoy this beautiful weather. I don't get to come out a lot of times in this weather, but you learned how to do deep dropping. You could try it in your area. I'll tell you, I'm gonna make some more rigs. I'm gonna make, like I said earlier, with some smaller hooks, because I really like that first area there that I was at, and I'm really thinking that there's some small snapper there, some yelloweye snapper possibly, and those are smaller. They're kind of like yellowtail snapper, 12, 14, 15-inch fish, much smaller mouths, right? So I want to get some real small circle hooks and try that. So I'm going to make them, and hopefully next week I can come back out here, really dedicate some time to it. And if we try that and it doesn't work, we come out in the morning. All we got to do is go that way like another 15 more miles, and we'll be in the swordfish ground. So guys, thank you for watching. Stay safe out there, and I'll see you in the next one.